Can someone quickly tell me how it's already December 1st? I don't even know how this happened. Welcome back to the Let's Talk Teaching podcast. I am your host, Kayla Durkin, and today we're talking all about 10 practical tips for surviving this holiday season. We all know the holidays are just a little bit more stressful. Not that we want it to be, it is truly the most wonderful time of the year. The lights, the celebrations, the love, the laughter, all of it is so amazing, especially as a classroom teacher, just getting to share that love with our students. But in addition to the everyday stress of being a classroom teacher, we also have added stress and pressure at home. So today we're talking about 10 tips that are going to help make this holiday season just a little bit easier for you. I know we're already a little late into the season, but I just want to take some time, give you these tips, and hopefully they will be really helpful for you. Just as a reminder, we have 7 days left to get in on our Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. You guys know I was a little bit behind on the game, but if you are ready to blossom into the teacher that you were born to be sure to head on over to ndteaching.com/blossom. You can become a lifetime member for only $82.55. You are receiving 35% off of our membership. All you have to do is use the code thank you at checkout because I am so thankful for each and every one of you who are here. And with that as well, if you fill out a review on this podcast, screenshot it, send me an email. I would like to bless a few of you with a little coffee pick me up. The next time you're listening to a new episode, swing through the drive-through, grab a coffee, enjoy your drive to work, and hopefully by the time you get there, you are just filled with cheer and you are ready to go. Tip number one that we're just going to dive right into for surviving the holiday season is make a scope and sequence of all of your lessons. Now, I know you don't have time to make one for the entire year, but it's December 1st. Let's map out the rest of December. And then if you have a little bit of extra time, we need to map out January as well, because I do not want you to have to work during your entire break, whether you're on Christmas break, winter break, Hanukkah break, whatever kind of break you are on. I'm so happy that you get the break, but I do not want you to spend every single day of that break trying to figure out what you're going to teach when you get back. My husband always says, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Let's take the time that you have right now before you really dive into all of the craziness of end of year testing and all of that stuff. And let's just map out everything from now to December. And then let's map out January as well so that all of the stress gets taken off your plate. We're just going to make a broad scope and sequence for these next 2 months that are going to include our non-negotiables. These non-negotiables mean that you know that you're going to be here by this date, you're going to get this done by this time, this is going to happen by this date. Anything that needs to happen, put it on that scope and sequence. Before things get too busy, just take a few hours one night after school or on the weekend. Yes, I know I'm suggesting that you take a little bit of your protected time right now. That way you can enjoy those 10 days off. You can spend your time with your family. You can spend time laying in bed, watching Netflix, whatever you want to do, scrolling through TikTok, and not have to think about having all of these responsibilities that you need to do when you get back. I'm not necessarily saying that you are going to plan every single detail of every single lesson. I mean, the more details you can plan, the better, but I really do want you to have an idea of what you're going to be teaching and when you're going to be teaching it, at least through the first couple weeks of January, so that the stress is taken off your plate. This way, if you have any extra time, I know, joke's on me, you don't really have a lot of extra time, but if you know what you're going to be teaching in the upcoming weeks and when you get back, anytime you see a quick little activity that you can pull and print and get ready, you can have all of that prepped before you go. Take the time now, figure out what you're doing, send it to the print shop, send it to the printer in your building. If you have an instructional aide in your classroom, if you have a senior student who helps you out, whoever you have, I know not all schools have that, but have your students do some cutting for you, get it ready, do the laminating, whatever. Just take some time to do that planning now so that you do not have to worry about it as we end one year, as we end a grading period, as we're doing our final testing for the end of the year. That way you can just enjoy these next couple weeks with your students. But now it's time for a little bit of fun. Since you know what topics are coming up, start looking up some of those fun projects or activities that you can do with those topics. Yes, it's important to stay on task and make sure that your students are still learning, but consider using this opportunity, especially just with all the fun and the happiness and the laughter that happens during this time of year. Break out the scissors and glue. Let your students use a little glitter. If an activity requires supplies, you already know what you're going to need. You can kind of start adding those to some of your wish lists or your shopping list. Start planning all of that out so that you do not have to run to the store the morning of school to grab those supplies. And then that store is out, and then you're late, and then it just kind of throws your whole day for a spiral. So think of those fun days now. Start planning those activities ahead of time. Get those items on your shopping list, figure out what you need, and just enjoy this time with your students. But with that, not to contradict what I just said, as much as you possibly can, keep your routines normal. We've all had those days where we try to do something really, really, really cool, but there are just some of those students who can't handle it. So I want you to do really fun activities, but I also want you to keep a little bit of normalcy in your classroom. If you have your snack time at a certain time or your recess at a certain time, or you typically do something on a certain day of the week, keep doing those things. If your students are used to a certain morning routine, keep doing that. Just like you and me, routines give us a sense of peace, especially for those students who do not go home to the best place. When the holiday season starts getting crazy, let your classroom be the place where your students know they can always count on it to be quote unquote normal. The next tip is really hard, especially during this time of year. I know I am not the only person whose stomach starts to growl, and before I know it, I'm in the staff room looking for a treat. We can all agree that the holidays bring more food temptations than any other time of year. Plus, it is way easier to eat 4 cookies for lunch than to stand by the microwave waiting for our lunch to get warm. However, when we are feeding our bodies with garbage, we are not going to be able to keep up with the same energy that we need to survive this crazy time of year. Making a big batch of soup and separating into containers makes for easy meal prepping for teachers. Planning freezer or crock pot meals when you get home and adding healthy foods to your grocery list can make all of the difference. I promise you, the cookies and treats will still be there, and I'm all about the treat yourself, but just make sure you are also giving your body the nutrition it needs to stay safe and healthy throughout the holiday season. And also, mixing in a little vitamin C or emergency pack goes a long way. For me, I really like to have a hot cup of emergency in the afternoon instead of a hot cup of coffee. I really think it just kind of perks me up, it keeps me healthy, and it keeps those winter colds away. Now that we're eating healthy, I really want you to make moving your body a priority as well. I know that after standing on our feet all day long, it can be a little bit harder to want to go home and to mix in a little bit of movement. And it's getting darker so much earlier, and suddenly our body thinks that we should be washed up and in our PJs by 6 p.m. Do not worry, you are not alone. I've been there way too many times to count. Everyone is saying it. The word sounds scary and it's so easy to ignore, but get your body moving anyway. When I think of exercise, I am not saying that you need to wake up and run a 5K every day before work. I'm just simply saying do something that gets your body off the couch. We are already consuming extra calories with these holiday treats. So not only will the exercise help you combat that weight gain, but it'll also give you more energy, and it'll even help you start a new routine for the new year. If you haven't exercised in a while, start with something easy. Start with some yoga, take a few laps around the block or even around the school before you leave for the night. Just get outside if possible. I know if you live in North Dakota like me, it's getting a little bit colder, but hey, it's possible. Bundle up, get out there, just get your body moving so that you can stay healthy. Kind of following right in line with that, make some time for you. You time is probably another thing that you hear a lot, but maybe you haven't tried it out yet. Many people often view you time as being selfish, like if you spent time on yourself, you're taking away from something else. Although that may be true, it's important to make yourself a priority. You probably are already more stressed than usual, so find something to do that's just about you. You need to schedule yourself on your to do list. Shut your door for a bit and read a book. Take a yoga class, take a bubble bath, do some journaling. Maybe you're at school and you just need some time for you because you're stressful. Shut your door and read a book or listen to a podcast while you organize some papers. After school hours, try a new yoga class, take a bubble bath, do some journaling, listen to some music. But you might even enjoy just making a list of things that you're grateful for. My husband and I call this a gratitude walk. We don't physically write it down, but as we're out for our morning walks, we will just kind of list the things that we're grateful for. And it really does just start our day off the right way. So we're killing a couple birds with one stone. We're moving our bodies, we're listing what we're grateful for, we are waking up, we're starting our day off right, and it just really energizes us for the day ahead. Plus, it makes us feel a little bit more present and connected. But no matter what you choose to do for you, Just remember to use your time to focus on yourself so that you're able to bring your best self to the table for your family and for your students. The next tip, here we go. Water, water, water. Drink some H2O. Before you say it, I already know what you're thinking. I can't drink water because then I need to use the restroom, but my schedule doesn't allow for that. Yeah, trust me. I know. I've been there. I have to go to the bathroom probably more than any other person you've ever met. I am so sorry if that is TMI, but it is true. Anytime I drink something, I know 20 minutes later, I need to use the restroom. I have the world's smallest bladder, but water is really important. It makes you feel better. It gives you energy. It makes your skin healthier. It makes you feel full faster. Simply put, it's just so darn good for you. So here's my trick. If I get up in the middle of the night, I always drink a glass of water. As soon as my alarm goes off, I usually need to use the restroom. And then guess what? I drink another glass of water. Right before I leave for school, I then drink my third glass of water for the day. This allows me to get 24 ounces of water in before I've even got to school. Plus, I always use the restroom right before class starts. I try to drink my full water bottle before lunch, which puts me at about 44 ounces for the day. And then I try to drink another water bottle by the end of the day. If I'm successful, I have now gotten in all 64 ounces of water, and I no longer have to worry about it when I get home. If drinking water at school absolutely doesn't work for you, try to get your 3 glasses in before school, sip a bit throughout the day, and then start drinking more right before the school day ends. No matter what your water schedule looks like, make sure you're getting it done so that you feel like your best self in this season. And guess what? There are even some water checklists in my Teachers Pay Teachers store so that you can check off the water as you drink it throughout the day, because sometimes a checklist just helps us feel a little bit more accountable. Okay, 2 more tips for the day. First one, take a deep breath. No matter the day, there are always going to be things that you can't control. You cannot control that you have another meeting. You cannot control the phone call you just got. You cannot control that you got a negative email. You cannot control how your students behave or what someone says to you, but you can control how you react. You can choose to take a deep breath. You can choose to find the positive, and you can choose to respond in a kind and respectful manner. You're stressed, they're stressed, we're all stressed, but try to put yourself in their shoes. Try to think about what maybe caused them to act a certain way or say a certain thing, and just know that it's okay to take a minute before you react. Take that deep breath, or maybe take 10. Think about what you're grateful for, and then move on with your day. And the last tip for today, smile. It is almost Christmas break. Lastly, and most importantly, do not forget to smile. Your students are so lucky to have you, and they look forward to seeing you each and every day. They might ask for love in the most unloving ways, but smile and love them anyway. If you're having a hard time getting a smile out, think back to why you became a teacher or a special teaching moment that will forever be in your heart. These children need us every single day, whether they are 5 or 18. They don't need the cranky, stressed out, overwhelmed teacher. They need the teacher who shows up for them, who puts on that happy face and spreads kindness and love to all that they meet. So, those are our 10 tips today, friends. 10 tips that are going to help you get through this holiday season. I know things are stressful. Eat healthy. Get your body moving, map out the next 2 months of the school year, drink some water. These things are going to make a difference. I promise, promise, promise you they will. This is one of the busiest times of the year, both in the classroom and at home, but keep these tips in mind and remember to just enjoy the magic of the season. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. If you need support, if you need encouragement, you know where to find me. Head on over to Instagram at North Dakota Teaching. Send me a DM. Let's chat. And please know that you have absolutely got this. And if you want to gather around a group of like-minded individuals, it is not too late. You have until December 8th to join the Blossoming Teacher course at 35% off ndteaching.com/blossom. Use the code thank you at checkout because I am so thankful for each and every one of you. And with that, we'll see you next time. Enjoy your week, everyone. You've absolutely got this.